Is Bitcoin right now in an accumulation phase, and can we see still a bullish month for the month of June? Guys, that is the topic of today's video. What is Bitcoin going to do in the near future? Is there still a bullish scenario possible? How does the bearish scenario look? I'm going to have a talk about it, and I will as well back that up with some fundamental charts. So it's going to be actually a very interesting video today, so make sure you watch this video till the end. Okay guys, with that being said, my name is Jeroen. Welcome to the Blockchain Today, the channel where you subscribe for daily crypto videos. Right now, let's jump into the Bitcoin price action. But before we are zooming in on the Bitcoin price, guys, let's take with every single one of us 1 single minute. Scroll below this video and hit the thumbs up button. Guys, that is so much appreciated. Then for all the traders out there who are interested in trading Bitcoin and a variety of altcoins, right now there is still a major bonus going on over on the Bybit exchange. And if you use my specific affiliate link down below in the pinned comment, then you can get not a deposit bonus of $1,000 but you can get a bonus up to $1,600. So for all the traders who are interested in that, you can find my affiliate link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. Then guys, let's jump into the Bitcoin price action. So before, we have been talking about a triangle formation, right? I've been mentioning this structure before as well, that we could be seeing a wick of accumulation period. There are some arguments which are in favor of this scenario, also some arguments against that. We will have to talk about that in the immediate short-term time frame. But maybe it's better to start off with a different chart and show you guys what is going on with the levels of Bitcoin right now and the structure we have been talking about in my previous video, in yesterday's video. So we had this triangle formation, right? We broke that triangle formation to the downside. We came into our support zone, which is a very important support zone. And we dropped back down to approximately 31,100. From there we are right now seeing a bounce. And like I said in yesterday's video, guys, there is still possibility for Bitcoin to see a bounce from these levels, which could potentially mean, guys, that we have seen the bottom right here and that Bitcoin is going to continue in a new uptrend. However, guys, it's also possible that would be the bearish scenario if Bitcoin were to break below this level right here, below this key support zone, which is approximately $30,000. This level is backtesting as resistance. That would be a very bearish sign and could definitely bring the price of Bitcoin to way lower levels than that we are seeing right now. However, guys, there is also if we have a look at the sentiment right now, we can see that the majority of the people are actually bearish on the price of Bitcoin. Everybody is expecting Bitcoin to see that drop. We can see that in multiple indicators, also in the funding rates. The ratio between the amount of shorts against longs is also quite unbalanced. Right now the majority is short, and normally that is also a signal showing us that we might see some increased buying pressure on the price of Bitcoin in the near future. So yesterday I've been saying, right, that on the daily time frame we could be forming a bullish divergence, and that is actually quite interesting, because if I would put that price action right there and we would bring out the RSI right here, then we can see that we already have been setting a lower low in the price, and on the RSI we are still above the lows right here, which means that this eventually could end with a bullish divergence. If we have a look at the past, guys, every time we have seen a bullish divergence in Bitcoin on the daily time frame, then that almost always resulted in a pump in the Bitcoin price. It didn't matter if Bitcoin was in a bull or in a bear market. Let me show you some examples of what I mean right here. So first of all, we got one example right here. I've been pointing that one out yesterday. We got a higher high in the RSI, lower high in the price, and eventually we got quite a massive rally in the Bitcoin price. Interesting right here is that we got a buy signal in the hash ribbon, which might be possible that we are getting that soon right here as well. So that is another interesting correlation right here. If we were to go back into time, then we can see, for example, right here we got a bullish divergence on the daily time frame, where in the price we're setting a lower low, and in the RSI we did the opposite. We set a higher low, and this was actually in a bear market, but we can see that we made a rally of approximately over 50% even in a bear market, once we had that bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Then when we go back to the bull market of 216, 217, then we can see that we had a bullish divergence right here. Right here we got a nice bullish divergence where the price is setting a lower low right here. Eventually we got that nice buy wick right there, and in the RSI we did the opposite. We were actually setting a higher low, and that was the start. That was the signal of the bottom, and that was the start of the major, the continuation of the major rally we have seen in 2017. So guys, these bullish divergences on the daily time frame, once they are confirmed, they can be actually quite powerful. And right now, the interesting thing with Bitcoin right now is that there is no confirmed bear market yet. Of course, we have these moving averages normally that we are using to consider if Bitcoin is in a bear market or in a bull market, the 20-week moving average, the 200-day moving average, and so on. But as long as we are not as long as we are not getting rejected from those levels on a higher time frame, then it's still possible for Bitcoin to break above these levels once we are seeing that bounce, and we could be seeing the early signals of that bounce occurring right now. So that is actually quite interesting. This is still a little bit too early to say right now, but this could result in a bullish divergence on the daily time frame, which could be one of the last hopes for Bitcoin right here in this price action to still recover and to still enter a new uptrend. Then guys, let's go to the other chart where I've been drawing the wick of accumulation phase right here, and let's go to the 4-hour time frame. It's a little bit more better visible there. So something like this, and this is just something I want to point out as a potential scenario so you guys can be aware of that. That is that we could be seeing something like this. If we have a look at the structure of the price, it actually looks kind of like a wick of accumulation phase. The only argument which is a little bit against this pattern is that this pattern right now is been forming on the 4-hour time frame, and normally it takes longer for this pattern to really play out. So normally it's better to find these patterns on a daily time frame rather than on a 4-hour time frame. However, we are seeing a lot of significance, a lot of correlation between a wick of accumulation phase and the price action that we are seeing in Bitcoin right now. So it is possible, because this aligns as well with the potential bullish divergence on the daily time frame, is that we are going to see something like this, where Bitcoin is going to test the support one more time, might get a small fake out, eventually get a huge buy wick, and results in this uptrend. And this is also one of the only scenarios right here in the immediate short-term time frame which actually can be bullish for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin right now has been breaking quite some support levels, confusing a lot of people, making the majority bearish, and we can see that right in the funding rates as well. I think that is very interesting but guys, normally the traders with a contrarian view are the ones that are getting rewarded the most, because most of the time the majority in the markets in the shorter term time frame are wrong. So guys, what could we be seeing right here? So it is possible for Bitcoin to come down in the next coming days, to test this support one more time at approximately $30,000, might get a slight wick below it to spook a lot of people, and that is going to be the moment where a lot of Bitcoin is being bought up, and then we are going to see a quick recovery. This quick recovery, guys, is very important for this scenario. If we are not seeing that quick recovery, so a nice buy wick, then it's actually still quite bearish. So this is one of the signals or one of the patterns that I'm seeing in the chart, which is still showing that Bitcoin can be looking bullish right here in the month of June, and it really depends on what is going to happen in the next coming days. Then guys, when we have a look at the funding rate, and this is actually quite interesting, let me go to the daily time frame, because the funding rate, guys, is an indicator which we are using quite often right here on the channel, and we have been using the funding rate quite successfully. So I will leave these drawings right here. Looks a little bit messy, but let me just show you what I mean right here. So if we have a look at previous time, and let me get rid of the let me add the hash ribbons, because we have the buy signal on the hash ribbons at one of these scenarios, which looks like something we could be seeing right now as well. So let me get rid of the RSI and let's have a look at the negative funding rate. So guys, right here, let's go back in time. We got a huge negative funding rate. We bottomed out on the negative funding rate the moment everybody was super bearish on Bitcoin, when we had this major drop in March 2020. But eventually you can see, after having this negative funding rate, the price of Bitcoin just continued in an uptrend. Right here we had a positive funding rate, which means that there are more longs than shorts, which eventually caused selling pressure on the price of Bitcoin. Right here we got a negative funding rate, which means that the majority of the people were actually short right here, which was causing buying pressure on the price of Bitcoin. So eventually we went up. So that is actually quite remarkable, guys. Right here we have it as well. We got a negative funding rate. Let me zoom in a little bit. Negative funding rate right here. Quite quickly afterwards, price is going up. Right here we got a negative funding rate as well. Quite quickly afterwards, the price is going up. Right here we got a negative funding rate as well. Right quickly afterwards, the price is going up. Right here we had it as well. Negative funding rate. Price is going up. So a lot of times the majority of the people in the markets are at the wrong end. And right here, guys, we had a lot of bullish momentum still. The momentum right now is definitely slowed down and the momentum is definitely more bearish. But we are seeing again a negative funding rate with a extreme reading, which means that this could be a bottom of the negative funding rate, which could align with the bottom in the Bitcoin price. We still don't know that because we still haven't seen lows below the lows we have been creating with this negative funding rate. So guys, I think it's definitely possible. I would definitely interpret this as a bullish sign for Bitcoin, because right now definitely the majority of the investors, they are short on the price of Bitcoin. And yeah, that might be a nice indicator that we could be seeing the this scenario that I'm just presenting to you guys, that we are going to see Bitcoin taking off right here and transitioning into a uptrend in the not so distant future. For the ones that are interested, right now I still have my short position open on the Prime XBT platform, but I'm planning to close that short in the not so distant future if I see more confirmations that Bitcoin is going to see that that transition into a new uptrend. For every single one of you who's interested in creating an account over on the Prime XBT platform, if you use my affiliate link down below in the pinned comment, you can get a 50% deposit bonus and you will get a 25% discount on your fees. So for all the traders who are interested in that, you can find my affiliate link down below in the pinned comment. Then guys, I want to have a look at a more fundamental chart right here, which is the mvrv Z-score, which is normally showing the fair value of Bitcoin. And here you can see normally when the mvrv Z-score is going into the red area, Bitcoin is close to a top and is very overvalued, and it's a good time to sell Bitcoin. However, when Bitcoin is in this green box right here, it's a very good time to buy Bitcoin. However, this is not the only way how we can analyze these charts. We can also apply trend lines on these charts, which is very, very interesting. And I've done that right here, guys. And here we can see that in the previous bull cycles, we had a nice uptrend in this mvrv Z-score, and we can see as well in the 2017 bull market that once we are getting back to that support of the uptrend, the uptrending support right here, that coincides with bottoms in the chart right here, in the Bitcoin chart. And right here in 2013 we got a break below it, right, and that was also the moment we had this huge correction of 80%. And yeah, eventually we returned back into a uptrend. And in 2016-17, we can see that we've held the whole bull market this uptrend. And right now, guys, if we connecting these points and we are ignoring that major move we have seen in March 2020, then Bitcoin is still holding the uptrend of the fair value based on the mvrv Z-score. So this is another chart indicating, guys, that we might have seen, or that we might are being close to a bottom right here in the Bitcoin price, and that we are at a moment where we can continue the uptrend. And guys, when we have a look at the mvrv Z-score right here, now then we can see that Bitcoin is still holding this uptrend, which is an indicator which is showing us that Bitcoin might transition right here if we have a look at the price, in a uptrend as well, because we are holding the uptrending support of the fair value based on the mvrv C-score. So this is actually quite interesting, guys. That's also the reason why right now I'm not going to have a too much bearish bias. I think it's going to be definitely bearish, guys. If Bitcoin breaks below $30,000, we backtest this level as resistance, that would be a very bearish scenario. However, right now we still have a lot of signs to believe that Bitcoin is in its phase of transitioning back into a uptrend. We got the wick of accumulation phase, we got negative funding rates, we might get a buy signal on the hash ribbons quite soon. The buy signal has been historically a great indicator showing when Bitcoin is in for a rally. Most buy signals were actually being followed by a major rally in the Bitcoin price quite shortly afterwards. We can see the sentiment is very bearish, which is a good contrarian indicator. The crypto fear and greed index is at extreme fear. A lot of people are panicking right now. They are extreme fearful of what is happening with the Bitcoin price. All these things combined, guys, still makes me a little bit more bullish than bearish. And we are seeing those signals as well in some fundamental charts. And one we have just seen right now, but also other charts like the NVT price of Bitcoin, the stock to flow model, right? So I still think, guys, right now I'm going to have a more bullish bias. I think that the bulls right here in this part of the cycle will be rewarded. I think once Bitcoin has been bottoming and is going to see that bounce, I think altcoins will thrive as well in the Bitcoin comparative. They will bounce with Bitcoin and they will also continue to grow in the Bitcoin comparative. I definitely think that that is the more likely scenario right now. But we really have to see what is going to happen with Bitcoin in the coming days, because the coming days are going to be very, very important for Bitcoin. We want to see a quick recovery if Bitcoin is going to see lower levels. We want to see that quick recovery, that buy wick, which is really a starting signal of a new uptrend. But okay, guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed today's analysis, guys. If so, do make sure to scroll below this video and hit the thumbs up button. That is very much appreciated. Also, make sure, guys, to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And for the traders out there who are interested in using one of these exchanges that I'm using, you can find all my affiliate links to sign up to one of these exchanges down below in the pinned comment. Then, guys, I want to wish every single one of you an awesome day ahead, and I will see every single one of you in the next video.